They're out there running around.
So, there's too many right now. Like,
What time is it?
It is now 11 p.m.
Holy shit. 8 hours later.
Okay, a very unnerving night. Bleary-eyed, the three of you make it to dawn. Widget is kicked awake at dawn.
can you get me a cup of tea?
Marty,
They're
could
hanging
Arlen
on to the
play
edge of the
doctor
post and...
himself?
What's that?
Could Arlen play doctor himself to heal this damage?
Let me just check the heal skill. I don't know if you could be your own patient.
I don't believe you can.
You cannot give long-term care to yourself.
Okay. Arlen wakes up.
So you wake up. Yeah, Arlen wakes up. Let's just kind of focus in on Arlen and Damien. I think I dragged them off into the darkness somewhere. Arlen wakes up and basically you do self-heal one
One each, right?
ability score
From each ability that's
from
damaged.
each ability that's damaged.
Can you get to? Can you show where I am?
North.
I don't know where.
2 con, 8 strength.
Okay. Thanks.
So Damien's all of his damage is gone, and then he has 2 dex
left.
damage. Yeah.
Okay. Arlen rushes off to see custodian.
Okay. You do.
Stone, where is that fucker?
Arlen rushes off to see the custodian.
Yep. I'm just getting the custodian
Yep.
token.
Do you prepare your spells before or after talking to the custodian?
After. The night passed.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, the custodian is in his main chamber where he receives people. It is more like an office at the center of a gigantic library. You see Jervis the Grey there. Oh, Arlen, he says without his stutter, because you bought a heal scroll to heal him.
My friends. Sorry.
Damien catches up with Arlen. Damien's whining about the dex damage. You know, if I'm supposed to go back out there...
I know, Damien. I know. Quiet. I apologize for coming in like this, custodian. We need your help.
Oh, yes, I hear that there was an unfortunate tragedy. I am so sorry. Condolences. This one was named Edward Ravenhurst.
Yes, he's a dear friend. There are many things that I need in order to ensure the survival of the rest of my teammates, and I'll pay for them. But we need to get them as soon as possible. I need to get there now.
Ah, yes.
I apologize again, but
This battle against the
shadows.
the shadows happened where?
It happened with the crypt of Duke
Haramil.
Haramil.
Ah, yes, Duke Haramil. He was known to be obsessed with the enemy.
There's a garrison a mile out. They were turned into shadows. As far as I know, there's shadows, controlled shadows, roaming the area.
you notice a grave look passes over his face. He sort of slumps in his chair. This has begun again.
Can I give you the list of things we need?
He's deep in thought. He just sort of waves his hand towards Jervis, and Jervis is ready with a slate board and a piece of chalk.
A full wand of lesser restoration. An item that does once a day rope trick.
He shakes his head.
Wand of rope trick.
Wand of rope trick.
I will have a look. It's not a common item.
Wand of sending.
He raises an eyebrow at that.
Sending.
Yes. He glances to Camus Ford.
Sending is fourth. And a scrolls of teleport. 3 4s.
Some of these things will take some time. You just asked him for like 20 grand worth of magic items.
I did.
Are you
Is
able?
it possible you can stretch? Is it possible you can stretch, flex some of your connections and get things quickly? I need to teleport to them as soon as possible.
Yes, he says. I will see what I can do. And he looks back to a chemist, the custodian, who's sort of staring at the map on his desk, and he's lost in thought.
Arlen's really thinking about that 5 by 10, or 10, sorry, is there a 10 by 10 carpet? Flying carpet?
Yeah, there was the flying carpet you learned that was on sale.
How much is that again? I think the 5 by 5 is 20 grand or something ridiculous, right?
Can the flying carpet hover? Because that's basically a mobile platform for shadow fighting.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Overland flight, so...
And he'll rush off to see the flying carpet guys.
A carpet of flying can hover without making a fly check and gives +5 to other fly checks. So it could just sort of like warble in the air. Yeah, so a 10 by 10 carpet is worth 60 talents.
Can't afford that.
Also get one of them adamantine fortresses that you just throw it as like a cube, the Pokeball fortress.
An instant fortress, yeah.
Instant fortress, there you go.
What do they have? You said that's a 10 by 10?
That is a 10 by 10.
5 by 5 is...
5 by 5 is 20 talents.
That's only one person.
Mm-hmm.
You can double its carrying capacity, but reduces its...
Oh, it also has a weight limit.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 by 5 carpet has 200 pounds of weight.
So it can't hold one of the big guys.
Okay. Can't afford that shit yet, so no.
You ask about the carpet. Jervis tells you, I could allow you to speak to the owner of the carpet. Perhaps some deal could be made. A loan, perhaps?
Right, yeah. Let's do that.
He is quite eccentric. I will arrange that meeting after going to look for these things.
Thank you. I will do a sending to them to tell them I'm getting supplies Hoping you're all okay.
When are
Okay.
you prepping your spells?
After I see if the guy can heal us for a fucking.
So you have ascending to use?
Oh yeah, I have to. Let's do that now, actually.
Because
Okay.
you have to prep. I think you end up having to prep your spells without knowing what gear you're getting.
Okay, let's do that now. I can do one sending.
Well, we'll go back. They're either dead or they're alive, says Damien. You should prep 2 teleports.
I can't.
Why not?
These spells come from my god. That's why I asked for the scrolls.
He was about to say something rude about it, your god, but decided not to.
How many can you prepare? Oh, shut up then.
Okay, Camus Vord takes 1d3 hours to go and fetch all these expensive magic items.
Fuck.
Where the fuck is Arlen?
Yeah,
How do you fuck this one up?
it's about 9 a.m. now. We'll say almost 10 a.m. And he has returned with a scroll of teleport,
Oh, fuck.
caster level 9,
Okay. One scroll of teleport.
a scroll of rope trick,
Okay.
caster level 3.
Caster level.
Give it to Widget to write down.
Well, yeah, he also has the 10-foot coil of rope that you need. There's a nice silk rope that's knotted. He gives you a look like short notice, man. Like,
Yeah. No. It's
and
okay.
what was the other thing you wanted? A topped up wand of.
Lesser restoration.
Okay. He ends up bringing you 3 wands of lesser restoration.
Okay.
One that has 36 charges, one that has 21 charges, and one that has 4 charges.
36, 21, and 4. What's the cost for these things? Because I know these are fucking expensive.
Are you selling them?
No, I think he's paying for them. Is what? Yeah. 36 plus 21 plus 4 is 61. I believe a second level wand is 4,500.
So caster level 2,
No, 3.
3.
Okay, the wands cost 5.5 talents.
All combined?
Yep.
Done. 5.5 talents.
Your scroll of teleport and the scroll of like, you're not forking over cash and they're like counting coins
No,
now. It's just they're going to charge your Ludus and eventually, you pay this. The service that they're providing is basically you didn't have to spend days in the market to find these things.
Yeah. No, I'm very.
And then let me look at the scroll costs. The teleport scroll is
5.5.
1 talent.
Okay, so teleport,
And the other one is 150 gold. They just give it to you.
restoration. So 6.5 talents.
What was the...
Arlen-
and they're willing to set up a meeting with the owner of the flying carpet if you wanted.
The 10 by 10 one.
Mm-hmm.
How much weight can it carry?
A 10 by 10 flying carpet is 800 pounds. You could double it and it would slow it. So 1,600 pounds.
I can double it. Oh, so I can double like. Okay, I got you. Sure. And it's 60 talents.
60 is the market price for that. How much money does the Ludus have?
71 after
Nice.
the stuff. And I took 5 talents. I'm taking 5 talents as magic components. So diamond dust and all that shit.
No Aladdin jokes.
Are they?
I think you just made one. The genie's out of the bottle.
I can show you Terrace Lane. Dark and shadowy all over.
Oh, oh, we're doing it. We're doing it.
We are
It's
having a
happening.
magic carpet.
We're getting one. What do you mean it comes with a cap? It's like,
There's so many things, and the person who wanted it from the beginning, he's our player named Ahmed.
It's amusing. It's amusing. I'm actually not even gonna do sending to them because I'm gonna use the wands to do a restorations. And Marty, can I do make whole on my cape to fix it?
Read the spell.
What's your
I
cape?
think it's just my cape is a.
Is it hit point damage or is it destroyed?
It was broken. It wasn't destroyed. It was broken. It has like 1 or 2 hit points left.
Then just yes, you can use make whole, and it will. It's like a healing spell for your cloak.
Okay, maximum so 5d6.
Okay, I need a name for a jolly half-elf merchant.
I'm drawing a blank. I apparently all the half elf names in my brain are like Russian. Yorgi.
Actually, Arlen wants to get a wand of bull strength as well. It's too late for that shit. It's too late for that shit. It's too late.
Barnin.
That works.
That works.
Cause I was coming up with shit.
Barnin Riverman. Okay.
1 second. My dog is staring at the door with nose like 2 millimeters away, like trying to use her brain to open it. It doesn't work.
Are you sure we have time for this? We've been waiting around forever for these scrolls.
It would make things a lot easier for us.
Jervis goes to a kitchen hall, and you can see a man loading up a tray with a ridiculous amount of food. Barnin? Ah, yes, Jervis. Not stuttering, I see. Oh, and who is this? Look at him! Oh, look! By the dawn's blessed day. He is wearing gems on him that are quite valuable. An Eastern style, almost like turban, like hat with a big feather in it. He's a barrel of a man. You do see he has pointed ears though. There are parts of him that are pushing the limits of how wide someone can get.
Arlen is clearly carrying the Gladius.
Yep.
Greetings.
I was so looking forward to seeing your gladiators fight last season, but that horrible storm came from nowhere.
How unfortunate. But I assure you, we're going to more than make up for it this season. And what way an entrance for the Lannister to come in with some of your products?
My products?
Yes, indeed.
Bonham owns a very lucrative trading coaster in Citadel by the Lake and the Protectorate. Oh yes, there's barely a grain of sand that exchanges hands without me noticing it, without me profiting.
Indeed.
Hi, my name is Damien Van Imp. Perhaps you've heard of my family name. This is Damien. Van Imps. Oh yes. Yes. There are no ports here. At least not for seagoing vessels. Now, what can I do for you today? Come, sit. Have something to eat. You look very pale.
Yes. Actually recovering from recent combat.
Oh, fighting. I didn't know you were fighting here.
Not here. A bit to the north, actually. It's for the Duke, but I can't really tell you about it.
Oh, has he conscripted all the gladiators? Ugh.
No, not yet. Although I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. There's a couple of things that we're actually doing, and I noticed that there might be something in your possession that I might be able to acquire. I mean, with a bit of.
Well, I hear you're throwing a lot of money around this morning, and he's like digging into his big plate.
Well, I do what I must.
There's ham and sweetbreads and cheeses and all sorts of berries that have been thrown all over it, and some kind of sticky syrup that he just glazed it all with.
Well,
Sounds like your breakfast. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, well, there's some grits and.
We are the winners of Vatapul's season end games. Full.
Oh yes, unfortunately I wasn't able to attend those games. I hear it was a bloody affair.
It was quite a sight. Thankfully, we did very well.
Are those slave tattoos? Is it true that you are a slave Lannister?
It is. It is. One must be cunning both in the ring and out to survive, wouldn't you say?
Your contract is owned by...
Oh, Countess Oppo.
Ah. I'll have to make note of that. He smiles.
I was very interested in acquiring one of your products, one of your items in inventory that's just sitting on the counter, collecting dust and not being used by anyone. And
Oh my.
value.
Someone's going to have to be whipped.
It's not me then.
Of course not. I'm sure that you're well beyond whipping. You seem well mannered.
Well, they'd miss half of me.
I see that. I assume you're not buying shoes.
No, I'm buying an item that would help me get around quite
He
well.
continues eating. Damien's looking at you. He wants to tell you something, but he just shakes his head and looks the other way.
I'm interested in buying one of your carpets. The ones, the flying ones.
One of my carpets? Oh, I see someone's telling high tales again. I only have one carpet.
I would be very interested in acquiring it.
You see, it is a very rare thing when a rich and powerful elf dies. It's very good to have your finger on the pulse of society and to know when the good deals happen.
And when to make the correct bets.
Oh, I don't play games of chance. He smiles.
Who said the games of chance?
Betting is for fools.
Indeed. And I do not take my gladiators into the ring on a hunch or anything less than certain confidence in the victory.
Ah. You want my flying carpet, eh?
Yes. As I, Lannister of the Circus, one of the family members of the Imps, on on a crucial mission for the Duke who would also appreciate this.
Oh, we
We'd like
did.
to get,
We're a protectorate. We don't have a duke.
correct. Duke of Vatapor.
Things would be much safer in the Imperium if we did away with all the aristocracy and simply had managers and bureaucrats and administrators.
I leave the politics to, well, non-slaves.
Damien winces at that.
I do not wish to.
He's leaning down, and Damien whispers into your ear, "He's trying to get a rise out of you. He's trying to get a rise out of me. The fact that we're being polite means that he knows we want this thing badly."
Give me a good deal on your carpet.
A good deal, you say? Well,
Yes.
I assume that this is not your money that you're playing with, but the Countess's money.
Actually, it is mine.
Oh, you're one of the lucky ones, eh? Allowed to keep a few coins here and there? Well, I doubt you could afford it. This particular carpet was wielded by a family of wizards and powerful magi.
I know about it.
Well, you know that it's got gold weave in it, and a beautiful gold dragon pattern. To strike fear in the enemies of those that see it.
My good sir.
Yes. I believe that the last offer I received for it was woefully insufficient, and given the price I had to pay to acquire the lot from that wizard after his demise, well, I will have to charge you 100 talents.
Oh, we both know that carpet is not worth that much.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you what.
These cakes are wonderful.
Indeed they are. But I would love to really enjoy having a deeper conversation with you and a longer conversation. But you see, my gladiators are actually in the field right now, and my presence is required. I would like to get this matter completed.
Yes. I've been thinking maybe I should get into this gladiatorial thing. Seems like a good way to move slaves around.
It's actually more trouble than it's worth, if you ask me.
Eh,
Like, I don't want to be a fucking Lannister. It is profitable.
you say that you
yes.
won, did you?
We did.
Which means that you probably got a pretty penny out of the people's purse or whatever they call it.
Do you think I made any of it? I wish I did.
Well, surely your ludus could afford 95 talents for such an ostentatious and beautiful sight.
See, the problem is this is not for the ludus, as per se. This mission is for the Duke.
Ah,
Duke is
dukes have deep pockets.
The Duke's not going to be interested in helping me, but a successful mission with a mention of the aid from Barn and Riverman.
Go on.
Might bring sway when sway is required. I cannot guarantee anything, but I know the Duke is very, very...
I've learned long ago that to deal in IOUs with nobility is to basically be pissing in the wind.
Then why don't you deal an IOU with me then?
You're a
I am
slave.
not nobility. True, but I am a Lannister of a very successful and powerful ludus.
So you have executive powers over the over all of your gladiators.
Yes.
Do you have permission to make trades and to buy and sell your fellow
I can-
gladiators?
I can buy gladiators. There are many of my gladiators that will not sell because one does not sell their golden cow.
Speaking of golden cows, which one is your champion? This is a simple name, if I remember.
It is Ugg.
Ugg. 50 talents and Ugg's contract, and you can have your flying carpet.
Oh, I apologize, but Ugg, my champion, along with the rest of the gladiators currently on the missions, is not possible. But 50 talents is a good start. Why don't we work from there? Say, why don't we do this? 50 talents and 10 more talents throughout the season.
Oh.
Diplomacy? Talking with the guy for a while now.
Sure. You have 50 talent on you. He seems surprised at that.
They will be brought in. Sorry, I'm blanked. Diplomacy. There
I
we
need
go.
to find a token for a gold dragon carpet. Cool. There are actual things.
Any bonuses? Being
30?
Introduced by. I don't know. Any bonuses to that, or?
Oh, there are a lot of neat patterns. Okay, I like that one.
This would set us back. This would set me up. Set me back quite a bit. But it is important, not impossible to work without, but important enough. Getting screwed on it. It doesn't matter.
50 talents and 10 throughout the season. 50 talents and 15 throughout the season.
Damien, do you have 5 talents on you? I think we can agree on this then.
Excellent. He reaches out some stubby fingers that are covered in maple syrup. Because he abandoned cutlery about 10 minutes ago.
Flying carpet is 10 by 10, and that's 10 by 10. This is fall. This is winter.
Do we still have a betting purse remaining, or are we kind of...
We have 20 some talents left.
So no, that would be a no. Okay.
Sorry, shit's important.
Are you shaking his hand?
Yep.
Okay.
And then 15 talents. I'm gonna put it in brackets. 15 talents. To what's his name?
His name is Barnon Riverman.
To Barnon or Riverman. Okay.
Burnenson.
Okay.
Of the Rivermans. Burnens.
Question, Marty. Can a thing like curl up? Let's say from in a hallway. Can it curl up its edges, or is it stuck 10 by 10?
It's a carpet, so it might be, you have to squeeze and slow down and that sort of thing. But
Okay. 15 talents to that
that's funky looking. Cool.
during winter.
What do we want to call this? The
Arlen's
carpet of the gold dragon.
We sent you to go to the Duke to bring more wizards, and he comes back with a fucking carpet. A carpet he's been talking about for a year. He lost his legs. I should get me a carpet.
So there's the carpet.
The shadows swarming the lands. Well, I bought a carpet for you. Answers all your prayers.
Now it is. Alright, perfect.
Yeah, you've bankrupted your ludus for a carpet, says Damien Winsure.
Shut up.
The guy goes and has servants go and fetch the carpet. They teach you the command words. It's an impressive thing.
It's on the face. I like this face. Sit on the side. On the back. I like the face.
Can you wheel your wheelchair onto the carpet? You say the command and it rises up into the air. Yeah, Damien's like, oh, and he hops on. Yeah, it's surprisingly...
Jervis?
don't fall off.
All right. go for a ride.
He seems a bit nervous.
Fly back. No? Okay.
Enjoy your carpet. Please tell everyone from whom you purchased it. At a fair price, I must say. At a very fair price.
Indeed. Thank you, Bonin. It was a pleasure doing business with you, and I'll see you throughout the season.
Yes. And if you find any more magic things in the north, I'm sure that I could give you fair prices for them.
It's fair.
An excellent first purchase. I'll be sure to let you know when I find other magic treasures.
Oh, if you wish to have access to the Duke will have first access to our treasures, but if you wish to have second access, I would say the price of this carpet might be a little too high.
You'll be back.
Yes, I will. No, I didn't sell Ugg. Crazy. I sell Sam. Yes. Okay.
Okay, it's got like nice tassels along the edges of it.
Yeah.
Damien just sort of sits down, cross-legged, and grabs one of the tassels. How do you make this thing go?
Just stay on. Get out of here.
The carpet is controlled by spoken directions.
Yep. So
Go, stop, turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna see
Follow.
if I'm gonna see if Camus Ford has a mirror that would allow me to do a scrying.
A scrying mirror. Yes, they can sell you a scrying mirror for 1,000 gold
just-
pieces.
I don't. At this point, I'm just gonna use wood.
Okay, yeah, you've got a mirror in your quarters that you could use.
Yeah, and I'm gonna scry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Okay, so you fly back to your quarters. Actually, this is kind of neat, says Damien.
I wonder how those guys that told I'd be back at dawn for are doing now that it's been 4 hours and they think
So
you're dead.
Damien has how many hit point damage?
2 dex damage.
2. Okay, so he's taking 1 charge, and I have how much? I have 1 con. So frig con, I have 7 strength. That's a problem. It's 2d4. It's 5, 1d4. Okay, so 4 charges off the wands. And we are good to go.
Okay, you then fly back up to your room. It's now just a bit before noon.
Scrying. I'm not gonna miss chances. Teleport.
Who are you scrying on?
Who's the least will savey guy here? Let's pick
Not Cade.
not Cade. I think Ugg. Would you think Ugg is the best choice here, Damien?
I see what you're doing. You're going to teleport to the space beside Ugg while watching it.
Yes.
Smart.
One of the most limited supplies I have, resources I have, is teleport. So
Okay, well, you are very familiar with Ugg. That's +5 to your DC.
okay. So DC. Don't we have? Is it this place? No, Lemmy had hair and stuff from everybody. So the DC of my scrying is 5th.
You should probably get hair from your gladiators.
Everybody, yep. So the DC is 21, so 26. Is there anything? I'm watching him? Oh, no, never mind. Never mind, that's the...
Okay, 26. Ugg's will save is +7. He gets a 21. So you can see Ugg, by this point in time, they found some of the leftover food in the camp, and they're eating basically a bag of apples. Everyone's sitting there eating apples.
Right,
Widget's already prepared his spells for the day.
Bring some food, Damien.
What,
Please.
what do you think I am?
We need to get to
He-
them quickly. Just get them some food, please. Some more, not apples, apparently.
He goes and pulls the cord. A servant comes to the room. I'll have a roast chicken.
From the size of these guys, 3.
Make it quick. Damien sends the servant off.
Scrying takes how long? If he's not back before Scrying's gonna run out, I'm gonna teleport.
I've got 10 minutes to roast 3 chickens.
Alright. Bring whatever
Okay.
you've got. Wait 6 minutes, bring whatever you've got.
The roast chicken isn't there after 6 minutes of waiting.
Anything. Bring friggin' cheese, bread, whatever.
Okay. Damien starts looking throughout this area. He finds a bowl of fruit.
Fuck it. Take it, I'm gonna teleport.
Okay.
It's fucking ornamental wax fruit.
No, fresh fruit and flowers are put out every morning. He grabs like a jug of now warming milk kind of thing, and he's like, "There, food." Bloop. As you guys teleport in the vicinity of the hedge staff, a mile away from it, however.
Alright, so do you think you teleported off to the middle of nowhere? Or do you think the Duke juiced him?
There's a beautiful carpet. Oh yeah, there's some conversation that morning.
Got some diamonds. Hey, how's it going, bitches?
What's taking him so long?
He was supposed to come back at dawn.
Yeah, it's like
Dawn was a while ago.
it's like, hi, son.
I don't know what these bastards are doing, but I'm getting pissed off.
Yeah.
There's still one of those shadow things out there.
I heard it at night too. We can get off the floor right now, right?
No.
This is safe.
I think they can still... I don't think they like the light, but I don't know that they can't exist in the sun.
Oh, Arlen's sitting on the carpet, Marty. He's not taking the fucking chair. He's rolling that chair back in his goddamn room.
Oh, okay, so the chair isn't coming with you this time?
Chair.
Okay. Alright, so, you guys are... Ugg scrambled, grabbed a bag of apples, and tossed it up. You found some old hard cheese and some moldy bread.
Yep. This is what life is. It could be worse. It could be eating moldy bread.
It's not that bad. A little tough.
It's good for the immune
There's a flash behind Ugg. He just drops the bread, and his pole arm
ready
is...
to punch you in the face.
Yeah, he's ready to... The fuck is that? It's his carpet. He bankrupted your Ludus for it, says Damien as he climbs up.
I'm sorry for the delay, gentlemen.
Hey, they finished it. And he climbs up to the...
But we've got. I had to bring the right supplies, the right wands and scrolls. Widget, here, take this and memorize it. He's giving. Do you have teleport?
I'm a fourth circuit.
You don't.
Not yet.
All right, we have a scroll of teleport left, and here, memorize this. He's giving you the scroll of rope trick.
Well, if you came at dawn, then I'd be able to memorize it. I can write it down, but then it will be my bond to cast.
Make it your bond then. I had to get a bunch of necessary equipment.
Like a big fucking carpet.
Well, no, I needed supplies. The proper scrolls.
You
Proper
told
wands.
the appropriate people, right?
What do you mean?
Duke knows about the war party that has entered his lands. And
Duncan knows about the prisoner. That's all I can do with sending. And that we're entering.
you
that
didn't talk to the Duke?
No.
Duke's in Vatapult, says Damien. We talked to the custodian.
Talk to the custodian. I sent a message to.
And you warned them of the Dusklords?
I warned the custodian of them.
And of the warband from the Shadow Plane?
I didn't actually talk that much to him, but he said he knew of this, that it's starting all over. I think he already knows it.
Are we going to loot a tomb?
Let's get going. Let's try to figure out a way to put all of us on this bloody thing.
Did you tell him Loravel was here?
Who's that?
No.
Lorvel is the name of the Dusk Lord. It's the shadow that is trying to destroy everything on this plane.
But we know where they're going, though.
Yeah, we do.
Some hole with a Palor's light thing. Good plan to send him there, Widget.
We had the prisoner. How did you find out? Says Damien.
We engaged in good old-fashioned diplomacy.
With
Didn't
what?
get close enough, though.
It was taunting us, so we taunted it back, and then, you know, I speak its language.
It then told you its plans?
Well, no, well, its original plan was to go do horrible things, so we gave it something that it could do so that we had an opportunity to have the Lightbringer join us with backup, which is apparently a carpet.
You fucked up, didn't you?
No, didn't fuck up. It's going to go.
Really, you're
It's
all
going to
wrong.
Giant Swell.
Giant Swell. Oh, shit. How far is Giant Swell from here?
It's further south than Fallenstone.
Back to the map so we can measure, because things are outside teleport range.
Yep.
Because we need to figure out how long it'll take to get there by flight, by teleport, and by shadow walk.
Shadow Walk? Oh shit. Wait, can they Shadow Walk at will?
Hey, Frozen. Arlen, you are outside the crypt. So let's measure from the crypt. Where the
Hey,
hedge-
Frozen's automatic.
and Giant's Well is 95, so
Oh, good God.
1960-mile hexes.
19,
It's
20,
a
1100?
12th level teleport away.
1100 miles?
1140.
Something like that, yeah? Yeah, 1140 exactly.
It's a 12th caster level teleport away. Now, just for funsies, let's just see the speed. Shadow Walk, I think, goes at 60 miles an hour.
It's ridiculous. They could be there in, what, 20 hours?
50 miles an hour.
50 miles, so that's...
So 24 hours.
24 hours in the day. Shit.
So
Roger's on the way.
we're going to Giant Swell. You ready to go, Lightbringer?
We can't. We have one teleport.
Hmm.
A scroll.
All right. So we need to contact the Duke and have him send someone to Giant Swell to save the
Dunk.
weapon against the shadow.
I'll have to call Duncan. Duke, I don't.
All right.
Contacting Duncan to tell him what's happening. Damn it. Okay. Where exactly
Would
is
be
the...
better if we did this talk a little bit earlier at the dawn. Dawn, bring it.
Thank
You look well fed.
Here's some
Yeah, Damien's still got the bowl of fruit, and he's eating the grapes out of the bowl of fruit.
Damien, just stop.
I was hungry.
They're more hungry. Feed them.
Are we gonna go back for the chicken?
I could use some chicken.
Let's go to the crypt.
He hands the bowl of fruit to Sam.
Starting to do ascending to. Can I cast while on the carpet without any checks?
Yes. If the carpet's
Okay.
moving quickly, you will have to make concentration checks, though. It can make single moves forward without you making checks.
Okay, we'll do that while I'm doing the 10-minute casting for sending. Where is the grotto close to Giant's Well? Is the Giant's Well the grotto called Giant's Well, or the area?
Both? It was called Giant's Well Farms, and then there was the Giant's Well Grotto. Like the area is named after the grotto.
Sec. I'm just writing a message properly because I need to count my words.
Hmm.
Chat. Okay. Paylor.
Marty, this shit got real fast, by the way.
What's that?
Well, it went from like, we might have to work with the Empire to, but the Empire are our best friends in the whole wide world. Oh, all hail be, praise be the Empire, because fuck those guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
just
I was
dumping arch shadows around.
I was waiting patiently for that realization. The enemy of my enemy.
Yes, these guys are. Holy fuck.
Yeah, we're gonna say, oh, the undying
Pillars,
Emperor, give him a
weapon,
beach,
and
because there's no way this is
in
going to end well.
Giant's Well Grotto.
Oh, thank you, Frozen.
What's the thing? Like you go to underwater to another area. What's it called? Hidden. Under.
So what the party is telling them about is this big face of Palor that they found in this hidden underground kind of secret temple. This is the same place where Arlen found this copper book with the names of outsiders in it. They realized that this big symbol once that was hovering of its own magic once was prominently displayed at the towers of Citadel by the Lake, at the center of the Mythal, where which is here.
Well, one word.
It once fit into this little circle between the two towers. It was taken down when the Imperium won and conquered Terraslene, because it was the symbol of one of the old gods and not the five-faced god. The party is probably filling in some the party is making some assumptions that it's really important. A mythal is a field of magic that is conjured by powerful casters, and the elves can do
Okay.
can do magic inside the field. People who know the proper command words can fly, for example, in this particular mythal field. There might be other things that that the mythal can do.
Pretty sure giving it the face of Palor upgrade.
The face
Does
of Palor upgrade might be very powerful indeed, and it might be a thing that they haven't had in Terraslene or Citadel by the Lake for 300 years.
Oh, it might be useful with fucking shadows. Just going out, going, yeah, we're gonna have shadow bears and shadow ravens and shadow peacocks and shadow grubs. Like,
Shadow mosquitoes. One string. Oh, God. Shadow sturges.
Suck strength and con.
Everyone's a juice box.
Okay, I think I have it here.
All right, paste it into the chat, and you're sending this to whom?
Duncan.
Duncan seems like a trustworthy person on your side.
Yeah. Okay, this is going into the chat. And I'm putting this under conversations, communication, sending. Okay, sending from Arlen to Duncan.
Okay, do you want to read it out?
Yep. Arlen. And Duncan, if he fucking answers. Okay, looking for Cradle. Palor's weapon against shadows in Giant's Well Grotto. I assume Giant's Well's one word. Hidden underwater cave. Shadows will be there evening. Protect it. Destroy them. Very powerful shadows.
Arlen. Useful to know which weapon will retrieve.
Ran out of words.
No.
I ran out of words.
Found cradle yet. Duke impatient.
First thing I said was searching for Cradle.
Yeah.
Well, you know tomorrow.
Be careful, Duncan.
Okay. After the 10 minutes, I send a message, and the thing kicks off in full speed.
So one of the things, Frozen, that we're doing is the stream has built a ludus, or a gladiatorial school. They have rolled up some random gladiators, and the next time we meet will be session 1 of the Coalition of the Black Crucible. And let me drop some links in there for you. Where are they? Where did I do? There is the Discord invite, and the other link is the Ludus sheet. So feel free to chip in, help out, manage. You're more than welcome to. All right. Yeah, Duncan says he's going to go deal with that.
Okay. Don't die, and live. Because a shadow Duncan is bad. He's a shadow fireball, you shadow asshole. So it's not good.
A 1d6 strength damage fireball.
Boom! All the fucking strength. Save for half.
The only survivors are Corsicans, because they're the only ones with enough strength to deal with that shit.
Mark at the end of the game said, "I'm so glad that I switched Nibbles for Damien."
Yeah.
Or Nibbles for whoever switched with Nibbles, because Nibbles apparently has a shit touch AC.
Well, Nibbles has like a 8 dex or some nonsense.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. He said Nibbles would have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you doing now?
Can we figure out a way to get everybody in the thing and move forward?
I don't think your carpet can hold everyone.
1,600 pounds?
Let's go to conversation real quick. And go...
I am changing maps, so
Okay.
back to the tomb.
300, 600, 900, 900, 1,000. We're about 1,200 pounds.
Cave's
Oh.
not that big.
Okay, so you guys,
Widget.
We can all get on. We can all get on it.
you're kind of sitting on top of each other. Yes, you can get on the carpet, and the carpet moves really
Widget.
slow.
Hey, Widget, you want to ride my lap?
So
Not
yeah,
overly.
Arlen, Widget is sitting on
Ugg passes Widget to Sam's lap.
Arlen's sitting on Ugg, like.
Okay.
Arlen's prone actually, so someone's standing on top of Arlen.
Yeah, Arlen's like lying down and looking at the edge. This isn't very efficient, says Damien. You're touching me, he
Do you
says
want
to
to
Cade.
go on a pony ride?
But guess
No.
what? They can't touch us right now, can they?
So, most of them left, but that's not all of them. At least the smart ones are gone. Also, just so you know, Edward's a fucking dick in shadow form.
I think anyone who's a shadow is a dick.
Well, shadows are kind of like the true self, but the opposite form. So, I mean, you're a dick in your light form, so you might be, pleasant as a shadow.
Fuck, I hate you.
So, did you get any information from the prisoner?
Mush, says Damien.
We didn't get a chance
Not listening to him.
I had to rest. Damien, well, fucking Damien.
Is that how you work this thing? Hey, thing, mush.
No, it didn't work.
Just like, oh, fuck. Mental note: don't teach anyone the fucking words. It's terrible to tear itself. Yeah. Just ride to the crypt.
Okay,
So
the carpet is moving really slow. Speed of 30.
30?
Yep. As you guys are all, you're not in combat squares. Like maybe only Cade and Damien are combative at this point. But it does listen to Arlen's commands for some reason. He just tells it to go forward. He's telling it to go forward in Elven. So the commands for this card are
Just
Elven.
elvish talking.
Yep. There's a command word which is magical, but then you need to know Elven to command the carpet.
So, where's your chair?
It's back at the.
Okay, the corpses of the weird bug things are still there. They've kind of melted a little bit, and there are swarms of flies around the Imperial foot soldiers. Your carpet flies
Oh yeah, it's probably that shit.
to the entrance. The door is partially open, I think.
Just
Or-
get to it, and Sam can kick it open.
Arlen.
Yes.
I'm really tired.
Will a channel heal him from that, or just you need a restoration?
I've got a strength damage, and I'm fatigued.
So
I
will
stayed
a-
up all night
will a
and
channel-
traveled all day to do it before.
Will a channel take care of that for you? Or
No.
you need a restoration.
Less restoration.
1, 2.
Ugg is fatigued. I think Damien's probably fatigued.
No,
Oh,
Damien's-
Damien slept. That's right.
Widgets left.
I don't know what
Cade
you're
is
talking about.
fatigued.
I don't know
Nope.
what you're talking about. I'm
Cade had a
fine.
restoration.
Well, no. Cade
It had a
had a restoration, then he stood watch for 12 hours.
Yep.
So
So three
he
charges.
will become fatigued in the
So-
dungeon somewhere.
I pull out a wand. Tick, tick, tick.
Okay, so you're getting rid of the fatigues on 3 people.
This is what I was looking for. No, these was what.
How much? Oh, shit.
3.
That was me. So,
So Sam and Ugg hop off the carpet.
Cade hops off.
Okay.
Fuck, it's Cade.
how are you gonna? How's this thing gonna go through the hallways?
It'll squeeze.
Yeah.
So who's opening the door?
Sam will open the door.
Okay. There's a kind of a noisy thud as the door hits the wall. It locks into place a little bit. The funk of this room with the 3 dead musketeers, or the 3
I
dead
was thinking-
officers.
Thinking of us trying to do the every gladiator on top of each other in a 5x5 carpet. Exploding us. Ladder. Gladiators, sorry.
Human ladder. Yeah.
Damien takes position, takes his sword out at the edge of the carpet. He likes the carpet.
Widget's
Arlen.
gonna cast a see invisibility because
Arlen's doing
magic is useful,
Mm-hmm.
up, see invisibility,
and a
You're in
mage
it.
armor.
mage armor.
You know what? Let's spread the wealth around. We're hitting everybody with a fucking mage armor.
Oh, look at you guys. That would have saved Edward too.
Shut up.
Yeah, I deserve that one. That's probably that's a little salt in the wound, I think.
There's many things we could use for that shit.
So
Mage armor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castings from Widget. When this
Arlen-
wand breaks, you buy me a new one.
Arlen's got one. He's got his own.
Yeah, that's not including Arlen.
Okay.
All right.
So you got Cade?
Yes.
Ooh, I get my martial flexibility back.
All right, so that left door is open. The smell of the horrible room with the tall ceiling. These soldiers have been dead for a while in this room, like over a month. I
Although
think you took the magic off of them, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bunch of pistols and stuff.
Okay. Sam was gonna go in the thing.
Yeah, Cade's coming in.
So did we ever open that back door?
No.
So
Door, we never
where did the ghost come from?
the back. They just came right out of the back door.
Oh, they came out of the back
They
door.
just
were
came flying through
They
the
just
back
came
door.
through.
One of them, and then there seems to be a way where they disappeared along the side and came out the mural, like they were coming out of the mural. You guys know that they can only incorporeal by seeing so many of them. They seem to only be able to glide a little bit into the ground in objects.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't go like
Yep.
to the center of the earth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Creatures love it, burn
But doors, yeah, they seem to be able to fly through doors.
Is Damien protecting our wizard?
Yeah, I think he's staying on the carpet.
I think he's just hanging out on the carpet with the sword.
He's also staying near the guy who teleports.
Yeah, yes, his internal machinations versus what he's saying. I'm protecting the mage. You know?
Yeah, looking at that alignment, yeah, he wants the certain thing for himself. He doesn't want his friends to die, but yeah.
He doesn't want Damien to die.
Yeah.
Cade's moving in.
We're gonna go take a look.
Okay, so Damien steps forward. The carpet does squeeze through the 5-foot opening. It won't be able to squeeze through anything smaller though. And its squeezing would have pushed people into each other, but
With two people,
with two people it seems to be all right.
Yeah.
And Arlen, you're lying down, kind of holding onto the edge and looking around and ordering it forward, so you're basically prone on the carpet.
Yep.
We're gonna need to get you some sort of harness or something. Platform.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's cast webbing on himself on the carpet. There we go.
You really like. If I wanted to smack you right upside the head, it'd be real easy right now. Sounds
This
good.
was a significant expense.
Yes, it was.
Okay, the room that still smells of ozone. The crumbled statues are still pebbles at your feet. There is the symbol of the Duke Haramil on the door that you're now touching, Sam.
Okay. So the
wait,
shadow.
Hold on before you open any fucking doors.
So the shadow lockpicks are not an activation item, correct?
Nope.
So Sam has shadowy lockpicks. Because, or actually, wait a sec. I think Ugg is also a rogue. Who's the better trap guy? I think Sam. Sam is. Yeah. Well, Sam's more rogue.
Okay, if anybody doesn't mind, I'll take the kukri.
Yeah. Go for it.
+1 frost. Is +1 frost or +2 frost? Shadow kukri.
+1 frost.
Just checking.
This is a weird question that's being repeated over and over again.
Just wanna check, right? Sure.
Cool.
Marty had character picks like Adam and I, Mark. Like you wouldn't see Marty, just see picks like you.
Okay, we're gonna check this door for traps.
Okay, give me a roll. Ugg will aid. Auto.
Okay, 16,
Perception from
20, 22, so...
You don't see any traps.
Okay, must mean there's no traps. We're gonna open the door.
Okay. There are two things that kind of make you jump when you throw open the doors. They're not moving, however, and you realize that they're dead. They're just really ugly. They are a couple of fetchlings.
They're like the normal fetchlings.
Yep. Looks like they died here. They had weapons out when they fell. There is a pedestal with a gem in it, like this oversized dragon egg shaped gem. It is shattered though, like somebody hit it really hard, and you can see the striations of the shattering impact. They took a couple of swings at it, and it's there are little bits of it kind of all over the place. And there is a statue of Duke Haramil on his horse with his lance. That is in the alcove on the side. There is a lot of moss and what looks like a little bit of moisture around this door. And the doors to the right are actually open, revealing a much larger chamber. The smell of death is in the air.
We're just going to detect magic.
Okay. There is a lingering conjuration that is still coming out of the gem. It's more of like a ridiculous crystal. It is casting a bluish glow into the room with the remaining power, but it looks like it was once much more powerful.
You're talking about this gem, right?
Yeah, this big blue thing. Yeah. It's prominent in the room. It's obviously important. Sam steps up to it. Nothing happens to the slightly glittering gem. You look into another room, and this particular room looks like a battle has occurred here. Maybe several of them. There is a desiccated husk of a human in wizard robes that is lying curled up on the floor with a wand in his hand. And there are a couple of other... now, this corpse looks like it's been there for some time, while the other two corpses look like they're more recent. They...
you guys gotta see this. There's some shit happen here.
The guy at the end looks like... they all look like they died from shadows and ghosts and that sort of thing. Like, they really taut skin and looks of terror on their faces. This guy's hand is been pinched by a stone block. Somehow he got his hand... Yeah. He's like, his arm is trapped between two stones that have squished it to about maybe half an inch wide. It looks like he died there. There are many tapestries in the room, tattered with age, but there are still depictions. The vaulted ceiling are 20 feet overhead. The aged but rich tapestries along the walls depict, and there are several shields, depict a black circle upon a field of blue. That is the Duke's sigil. There are multiple statues representing armored warriors holding lances, and two represent armored war horses. There's a little bit of in the alcove where the guy's hand got pinched. There are some steps that lead up to an elaborate-looking stone sarcophagus. There are trimmings of silver and what look like bronze along the top of it.
Hey, we might have found the cradle.
The tapestries depict Duke Haramil holding a black orb. They also depict him sitting on a throne with the black orb beside him. And then there's this weird situation where the black orb seems to have formed into a chair and like Haramil sitting inside of it. And then there's a depiction of him like in a fetal position inside the orb.
I'm pretty certain there's a weird part of the internet where they use this in like a. Probably from
The last
Japan.
depiction is him sitting with the orb floating behind him with this really, really cruel look in his eyes.
Where is this tapestry?
These are tapestries along the walls.
These ones.
Yep.
What about this one here? That's the last one.
Yeah, this is him cruelly looking upon it, and the orb seems to be like floating above his shoulder.
So he
Was the
in
orb
the
this
orb.
gem shaped, or was it more orb shaped?
It's this black circle, black sphere. Well, I guess it's hard to draw spheres, but
So we're gonna have to take these tapestries with us. How big are they?
yeah, you know, like 10, 20 pounds a piece. You could roll them up.
Widget's gonna start looking for magics. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arlen's doing the detect magic thing.
So that big gem is a feature of the room. Like somebody kind of like fastened it to the pillar, and then somebody came along and smashed it, and there's still just a little bit of magic left. You do see the little fragments are kind of all over the place. It might take an hour to pick up all the like little bits of glass
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
I'm
if you
more
wanted
thinking
to.
like the guy with the wand and the.
Oh yeah, the wizard with the gear. This is Duncan's apprentice.
I bet the Duncan's apprentice is good at magic missile if that's what he learned how to do in fucking shadow form. So I'm guessing that wand will be good against whatever shadows are remaining.
So you were actually surprised when Norin's body lights up with magic. He has a significantly magicked light crossbow. He's got a dagger at his belt that's magic. His deep blue robes, the robes themselves are showing magic, and the pockets have conjuration magic coming off of them. His headband is magical. He has something in one of his non-magical pockets that is glowing. His ring is magical, and his wand is magical as well.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just gonna cut and paste Norin's stuff
Cool.
into the to be identified. I'm assuming you're are you going in and you're
Yeah.
okay. He does look like, because you've seen this about 50 times now, it looks like shadows got him. His face is wrinkled and kind of shriveled.
Okay, and the fetchlings and the dark folk didn't?
They do as well.
Okay. Yeah. No, we go in this room. Sorry. Yeah.
Party pages, Dread and Circus loot.
So far we don't have to squeeze, right? These doors open up to 10 feet wide.
Yep, if you open up both doors.
I think you're squeezing right there, but
Oh, I'll go above it. For you, floor. That's what Arlen says.
Okay. Aside from the old tapestries that actually tell a story, give me an appraise.
Okay. This is Arlen. Cool. You're not magical. 25 from Arlen.
You see a lot of like glittering gemstones here and there on the statues, but when you get a closer look, it's almost like they went cheap on this room. Like gaudy costume jewelry gemstones. They're for the look and not the actual value.
it's a fake room.
Yeah.
Sam's gonna take a look at whatever crushed this guy's hand. It feels very trap-like.
Yeah, it does look like the entire stairwell somehow maybe pulls back into the wall, but then rolled back on top of this guy's hand.
Cade's gonna do a perimeter.
This guy got really unlucky. Like, there's nothing. Give me a perception check as you're having a look.
We're roguing it up.
And Cade does get a perception check as well as he passes by something.
Obviously I'm not stepping where Sam is checking for traps.
Mm.
That looks like an obvious trap. I'll do that with stone cunning.
31.
Sam, you actually
30.
see that somebody has recently opened the lid of the sarcophagus. And yeah, this whole platform moves like back.
Where does is it the sarcophagus, like that part doesn't move? It slides underneath?
No, it actually will slide. You look underneath the tapestry, there's a groove for the whole thing to go into. The whole thing can disappear into the wall.
Maybe there's a tunnel under here.
Very likely. That's where I put a tunnel. Trust me, I'm a dwarf.
By the way, 30 on Cade's check.
This is stone cunning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely something important here, like a passage.
Here. Okay.
There's something over here.
I think here.
Wait, you say here?
Who rolled a net one?
Let's fucking get out of here. Send back.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the guy who's got his hand stuck.
yeah.
Just put that guy there.
Yeah, it was very unlucky.
Do these guys have any magic on them?
These guys, it looks like somebody took their weapons and a few things off of them.
The expeditionary force from the Shadow Plane, called the Party of War.
Curious that they just left the wizard's belongings.
It might be such that if you grew up on the Shadow Plane, material magic would be the same.
No activation though.
Like, it causes int damage. 'Cause it's so crazy, or whatever. How dare you touch the weave?
Or maybe they were being attacked by ghosts and shit.
Well, I would expect that the dark folk were in league with the ghosts, but maybe not Haramils. Might have been two factions of them. Shadows versus ghosts.
I know, we could ask Dynamo.
Yeah, it'd be useful to get some information from Dynamo.
Hug nods.
What do we find out from Dynamo?
I don't know. I told you I didn't get a chance to speak with him.
That sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We could have just left him here. Oh no, but you asked me to bring him back. So don't be a bitch.
You tell them, Arlen. This is Damien.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Damien. Arlen's saying, he's cheekily saying this. He doesn't mean anything against it.
So, do we just push this, or smash it, or punch it?
Well, how did this guy get his hand smashed?
Did his hand get smushed sideways or up and down?
Sideways. It's like he was reaching down into a thing where there was a space, and this whole big block crushed his hand.
We'll just start with giving you like a little shove.
Okay. There's definitely a different sound than the ground that you're on. Like, there is sort of maybe a hollow sound.
Okay.
Why don't we open the lid? Looks like it was open, he said.
After you.
Okay, Arlen's getting the fuck out of here.
Sure.
He's gonna step off the body.
Hope I don't see you.
Yeah. Or actually, yeah, let's push the,
Okay, you.
lid of the sarcophagus. Oh, you gotta step on there? Shit. Do we have a reach weapon that we can just knock the thing off?
Have you ever met a stone lid before? They're real heavy.
I'm not that strong.
It does look like somebody had drove a wedge into the stone lid, and it's not perfectly on its base.
Okay.
Like it looks like it's slammed down.
Okay. So is it easy to push off? Is what you're saying? Or somewhat easy to push off?
Okay, give me a strength check. You're just lifting it up, or are you pulling it off, or
Try to push.
okay?
13.
You're starting to, but it's heavy.
Alright, give me a second.
Let's try this again.
You need a hand over there.
Oh, I foobarred. There we go. Ooh, nat 20.
Okay, so
Or
he's
not
like
20, sorry. Totally 20,
looking back. You make fun of him, and finally, yeah, you push the lid off to the side, and you can see that there is a. Oh, somebody's disturbed this. There's like a scrambled skeleton and some like really rusty old armor, and like a broken lance.
Is any of this magical?
Your eyes adjust, and you can see that there's a handle underneath the body.
And it reminds me, hey Alan, what do the wraps do?
They're still with me. I don't know. Didn't get a chance.
Okay, just
Is a lucerne hammer bludgeoning and piercing?
yeah, I believe so.
He should get a
Well,
loose.
a real one is.
Yeah.
Using it.
Then we could say Uggs. If it's piercing, then he could. Yeah, then he could use his.
An oversized gnome hook hammer. It is bludgeoning or piercing. Lucerne hammer it is.
Okay, that's Uggs' polearm.
Keith's gonna tie a rope to the handle.
There, you got him a hammer.
Cade's gonna tie a rope.
He has a polearm of the indeterminate variety, right? It is a lucerne hammer because hammers are cool.
Also, it does more damage than what I've been rolling. Yes.
Yeah, D12, 20 times 2 though. It's not a.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, Marty, I'm tying a rope to the handle, stepping off.
Okay. Okay, nothing happens. The rope goes taut.
Does it actually lift anything, or?
No, the handle looks like it is attached to a circular bit of stone, kind of flush with the.
Rope pulling.
So you've got a rope attached to it, and it is taut. You might have moved it a little bit.
Okay, I'll take the rope off.
You realize that you might be able to turn this thing.
Okay.
Fucking trap here somewhere, I know it.
All right, let's give it a turn.
Okay, so
Whirl.
you turn it, and righty tighty,
Lefty loosey.
lefty loosey. So you're like,
No.
oh, there's left. It turns widdershins. Is another fancy word. You turn it about a half turn, and it clicks into place. And now the whole ground that you're standing on is moving in.
How fast?
Significant speed.
Just hop off.
Yeah, you just top off. The weird part about this is that the turning thing is now in the wall. Yep, as the whole thing has moved in, revealing a staircase that leads down.
Cade's looking at the platform like, how long would it take him to punch through this? The sliding thing. How thick is the floor?
Like strong stone tile.
100, 150 hit points, something like that.
Okay, couple rounds.
So the staircase descends here.
It's to here or to here? Oh, cool. Okay, steps. Step down from here. That's cool.
Sam is going to take a look at the the mechanism to see if he can disable it.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You just have to wedge something into. You could actually hear something clicking.
Yeah.
Like there's a
this is-
there's a counterweight or something in here, and it's just kind of timing down.
We're gonna just yeah, no need for any of that. Let me see here.
The DC to are you trying to break it or disable it?
I'm fine with breaking it.
Okay, DC 20 to break it. If you roll DC 30, you actually disable it and can pull the thing back out and let it go.
28.
Okay, no, you're like bang, bang.
Stable device. I
Yep.
auto-aid you.
Okay, 30. Bang, cook, and you're pretty sure that you banged a spike, and you are now. You got the spike perfectly through like a chain that you could kind of see, and you know, like the thing will stop.
Hey, Widget, these shadow things are awesome. We should tell Dynamo that, these things
Thanks.
work.
Ugg comes wandering over, and I guess Widget does as well.
Okay.
Yeah, stairs lead down. They're rather steep stairs that lead down into a room filled with more tapestries. There is a very heavily electrocuted-looking a dark folk that is down the stairs and quite dead. You can see that some of the walls have caved in a little bit, particularly on the backside of the backside of the room. There is a shiny sarcophagus. This lid looks like it's gilded gold, and it is holding a the depiction of a lance, like not an actual lance. And also in its other hand, there is a perfectly circular indentation that has nothing in it.
I hate these fuckers. Okay. Anybody think this is the cradle?
Well, it's either here or through I would say through the stone wall still.
Possibly.
All right, let's get down there and see what's in this.
I mean, next time Cade wants to go kata something, he should go kata that stone wall.
Let's give him a second there. Actually, Arlen's more safe. Feels more safe with these guys. So can it squeeze down like Damien will sit next to Arlen and it will like fold over. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So cozy. It's cozy. It's cozy, Damien. Think of that.
We're not dragging the dead body down.
There's stone pillars that support the chamber. They're huge tapestries that depict landscapes and battles along amongst the hills and plains. It looks like there was fighting down here as well, as there are scorched parts of the room. Some of the tapestries got scorched. In every depiction of Haramil down here, there's this orb that's floating beside him, like it's obedient to him.
Survival check to figure out what the source of the lightning was that killed this guy?
Sure.
Was it a trap or was it a spell? Or was it a spell trap? 21.
It looked like the lightning came from the floor, and you find the remnants of a powerful spell that kind of arced throughout the room. You're pretty sure that there was a chain lightning or something like that here.
Arlen's taking that carpet a little bit higher, close to the roof. Might as well do what I'm doing. He's like flat on the carpet.
Light step, Sam. Think it was chain lightning.
What's curious about this corpse is that his lips are blackened and his face is kind of like crusty and wrinkled, like he also died to a shadow.
I don't want shadow chain lightning.
It's curious. It's just like, did he die because of these horrible lightning wounds, or did he die because a shadow attacked him?
Tomato. Yeah.
Column A and column B.
Sam's gonna approach the thing.
Okay.
Traps.
Go ahead. Ugg is helping Sam.
So,
This is I don't have trap fighting.
It doesn't look like they opened this one. The seal's still on it.
yeah, they've maybe they were trying to get the something else. 30.
No, Sam notices that there. So yes, you do see a trap. The trap is along the wax seal along the edges of the sarcophagus, kind of filling in the lid to the base. You notice that there's a lot of dust everywhere, but where there isn't dust is in the partially circular indentation, and you actually see some handprints in the dust. Like they were standing around where he would have been holding something like an orb.
What color is the orb in the?
Black. It's pitch black. Black as night. Want to see the sun blotted out from the sky.
So there's this thing's trapped.
All right, let's break the trap.
Is it alright if I leave the room?
Looks like what?
Well,
You want me to? Yeah, you want me to?
Well.
I'm not very good at traps, but I can try.
I will stand.
Can you disable magical traps?
Nope.
can you disable magical traps?
No, I can punch through the side though.
Well, that'll set off the trap.
Yeah, you want to do that? Says Ugg.
What's the trap?
I don't know that.
Yeah. Hey, Arlen or Widget, what makes dust?
What do you mean? What makes? Is this a riddle, Sam?
Shit. Sam, what have you been eating?
I've been eating moldy bread and a half of a brown apple.
Well, that explains it. What makes dust?
Those were apples.
I don't know. I'm hoping it was an apple.
Oh, I tasted pear.
Close your eyes and enjoy it all.
It probably would have been better as a pear.
I lucked out. I had worms in mine.
Detect magic on the
Yes.
sarcophagus?
Give me a spellcraft check.
All right, because I might be a
Notice
little
that
hazy.
the guys that stole this thing didn't even set the trap off and find out what's inside.
Yeah, that's the important part. 24.
There is moderate transmutation on this trap.
Yeah, see, I think Adam knows what it is, because the key word was dust. And I don't like the spells that involve dust. They're all bad.
Would you like a death ward?
It's a transmutation, not a necromancy.
Transmutation.
Like, come on, Arlen. You're an arcane caster, aren't you?
Yeah,
What?
Arlen is.
What?
Arlen is.
It could turn you to stone. It could, Damien's like, fine, I'll use my bard powers. It'll turn you to stone, or it will turn you into a chicken. I like that one. Or it will, I don't know, dusty down there? Maybe
Yeah,
it's
Dusty.
disintegrate?
Disintegrate.
Yeah, that one doesn't sound like fun.
You'll be
Yeah, it looks
dust.
like there's a bunch of people around it, and it kind of absorbed them.
Wait, I see a lot of dust here. Is that? Does that happen to me?
What's that? Is that the result of the dust?
Yeah, there are 3 distinct piles of grayish dust. Now, there's general dust from just it being an old chamber that people didn't come down into. But there are 3 distinct piles of dust.
Is there any
It
magic
does
in
look
that
like
dust?
somebody sifted through them and might have picked things out of them.
Shit already.
And this is a bit of rubble from probably from whoever caused the cave-in up there.
Can I
Some of
break the trap by destroying that wax?
That's one way to do it, says Damien.
Sam is like, do we have any of the gunpowder left?
No, all of it went.
You could thank Edward for that. He fireballed it all.
That was kind of our plan. Besides, I wouldn't really set a keg off in here. There's a lot of stone above you.
Oh, yeah, you like this?
Well, you light the fuse and then you run away.
You know, surface dwellers. Tell you.
Why don't we use this guy as a shield?
Hey,
He picks him up. It's a little
it
crusty.
disintegrates a ray, so maybe Widget's gonna just, you know, he's gonna go off this fucking
This is a touch attack.
disintegrate.
This is a touch attack, right?
Yeah, it's touch tech.
All the best with that.
Here, he passes the Dark Folk corpse to Cade.
Oh fuck.
Break it with his head.
Okay. Let's not fuck this up.
No, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I believe there is a... There's a way to deflect rays, but with...
It's part of the feat. It's part of the chain for arrows. Like
Ray shield.
There's ray shield. That's what I want.
You need Dex 15 missile shield and spellbreaker. This is with a shield.
So,
shield.
oh,
is
light
not
heavier
bad.
tower. Yeah. So Sam has some shield feats, but he can't.
Why not?
Because he uses a buckler. His hand is a buckler, not a light shield.
So, well, no, you need disruptive 10th level fighter.
Well, there's a few paths to do this.
Mm.
Just we've got a bunch of brawlers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways to do this.
You need to be fighter for these ones. I don't know how to.
See, I have that one I want.
Mythic deflect arrows is how you deflect rays.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mythic deflect
Yeah. Yes.
arrows.
So Cade has quite a high touch AC. A really high touch AC, actually.
Now, the question is whether or not you're flat-footed against a trap.
Yeah.
You know it's there.
So, are you just gonna punch it?
Yeah, basically.
Do you need us here for you to do that?
No.
All right. Oh,
you
he's going
okay?
up the stairs.
We're supporting you morally.
Question. Okay, so I have Steel Breaker, and I want to know if this
Hey,
applies.
Damien.
Oh yes, you can do it, dwarf. You can
Steel
do
Breaker.
it. We believe in you.
I was thinking, well, maybe giving him a heroism, a good hope or something. I mean, we all could use one.
Fine, get your ass up here. He's not going down into the trap room. There you are. Look at you. Wonderful, wonderful dwarf. He casts good hope on the group.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, question. I don't know if this applies. or
Don't
not.
say I
Steelbreaker
never
is-
did anything for you and your kind.
Steelbreaker can use as a swift action analyzing movements and expressions of one creature within 30 feet, granting bonus to sense motive and reflex saving throws, as well as dodge bonus to AC. Against that opponent. Does this apply? Can this be applied to the trap?
What feat?
This is not a feat. This is Steelbreaker.
Steelbreaker power.
It's the second. It's the other option instead of you getting it as a 2-hit and get through hardness. It's the
The AC.
Yeah.
Defense.
Yes.
This is defense.
You have to make the check versus the CR of the trap.
The trap.
I don't think so. Use the ability to switch to analyze the movements and expression of one creature within 30 feet, because it doesn't say that I have to do. It says I have to do that for the first part.
All right, let me.
Adding
I'm looking up the thing for keywords.
Can instead use his ability to switch action to analyze the blah blah blah.
If it
Oh,
says-
okay, yeah. It doesn't say you have to make a check, so sure.
Just take it. Okay.
So Steelbreaker, you're gonna go down there.
My crane style would also apply to this, right?
Sure. You're aware of the trap, and you're gonna set it off.
All right. Adamantine fist, punch the shit out of the thing. Bam.
Okay, so you're just punching the edge between the lid and the box,
No
or are you?
waxy wax.
Wham! Okay,
Reflex.
you set off the trap. There is this green light that kind of goes around the edge of the lid along where the wax is, and it coalesces into a nimbus of green light, and then this rayish flash comes out of it in the direction where you punched it from, and the trap is going to make a ranged touch attack against you.
Ooh. Okay.
It touches AC 29.
No.
You don't get to add the +4. It's not melee.
+4 from. Yeah, I'm doing.
You don't get to add mage armor. You don't get to add shield.
Wait, no mage armor. So I've got my Dex and Wisdom. 10 plus Dex and Wisdom is 22. Monk bonuses, Brawler bonuses, 26. Ring, 27, 28. Mutagen, 29, 30.
It's Dex mutagen.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I have-
it provides +2 dex,
Gives me plus
4.
2 Dex.
Yeah.
-1 wisdom.
Yeah, that's Yuri. I do lose one for the yes. It's
So
3 with my natural
29.
armor. So 29. Now, question: does my steel breaker apply to this?
Yes.
Okay, so 34. My crane wing.
Mm-hmm.
No, Crane Wing does not. Crane Wing is against
Oh no,
melee attacks.
yeah, that's right. Crane style does.
34.
Actually destroys part of the
That was
wall.
close.
This is all open now.
Wow.
The dodge bonus to AC is half class level.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Is that spell broken or not? Or is that trap broken or not?
Seriously, half class level? That's okay. Yeah, you need to make a check then if it's that big. So the CR of the trap is 7. So you need to make a DC 17 check.
Okay. That one, 17. Well, no, wait. 7. Yes, 7.
And it's a check, so you can't fail on a 1. Okay. Is that including the minus wisdom from the mutagen?
Nope. It's not
Okay,
included
so you
in that.
failed, which means you don't get to apply your exploit weakness.
Any other bonuses Uncle Cade can grab here?
Are you at 29?
I'm at 29.
Okay.
10,
I'm just gonna erase the
21.
destruction.
21 plus 6, 27.
I just saw dodge bonus. My eyes didn't read
9.
the end of the sentence.
I read that sentence and went, the fuck? Because he went from 29 to like 36. Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
And the dodge doesn't apply. My dodge bonus doesn't apply, right?
The feet dodge does.
Feet dodge does. Okay, so 10 plus 15.
Just gonna queue up the damage.
This is a fort
Six.
save.
16 plus 5 is
Or is it not a fort save?
21.
Yeah.
21 plus my monk. Hold on. 10 plus 6, 16.
Make people poopy themselves?
21 plus 4 is 25. 2 brawler, 27. 2 ring, 29. My 1 dodge, 30.
Okay.
Minus the wisdom.
29.
No, I've already taken the wisdom off. I've already taken the wisdom off. It is 31. No, it is 31 because I'd already calculated the wisdom off. That's why. Sorry, it's my AC. My touch AC is 31.
All right, so the green beam goes over your shoulder. You have to dodge this. It was pretty good. It singed your one shoulder a little bit, and hair will never grow back on that one shoulder. And then it disintegrates some of the tapestry and part of the wall. But you seem to have busted the trap. The light dies down, and some of the stone bottom of the trap falls out, and there's stuff kind of spilling out of the sarcophagus. There's a body in there.
AC is that is 32. Yeah, I was just double, triple freaking checking. It's 32.
And it looks like he packed some sort of treasure in with him.
Taking that shit out. File that out.
All right.
I didn't roll damage on the trap. Do you want me to roll damage to see I did enough? Or?
No, you just pounded through the side of the thin stone box.
Okay.
You can easily take off the lid now. The lid is actually metal with a thin sheet of gold over top, so the lid might actually be worth something.
Still alive.
The body is, it's been dead for a long time. It's dry. Inside, you find that the body, he wasn't buried in very good armor. It has all rusted away and kind of broken. But amongst the things, you find 5 bejeweled necklaces, 3 thick mithril rings stylized with tree symbols on them, some jade carved figurines, a number of opals in a bag that have rotted away a long time ago, and you find Haramil's lance, which is in perfect condition.
Dude, it's vicious.
There's a lot of stuff down here, guys.
Is there any ghosts?
Nope.
Alright then. Detect magic.
Let's see. I think we're missing some stuff. Haramil's tomb. Ah, there we go. You pull stuff out, and there is more. Haramil's armor. You reach in really far, and you do find that he has kind of like dark tinted mithril breastplate.
Nice.
He has a longsword, a dirk, a belt, an amulet, a ring, in addition to the lance.
This is yeah.
Somebody's getting an armor upgrade. It's either Sam or Ugg.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was very dangerous. I just wanted to let you guys know that, right? It's very dangerous for me. Look, see this? I got messed up right here. How am I supposed to go walk around shirtless now?
And just to tease the
The mental stress here.
How much damage, just out of curiosity, Marty, would he have taken?
If you failed your fort save?
Yeah.
Like 28d6 or some shit like that? 26d6?
it is 2d6 per caster level. And it could crit you if it rolled a 20. So lots. That was risky, and you got a bunch of treasure for it. Yeah, you guys go down. You're pulling out. Woo! Whoever came here and took that, whatever was resting in the circular indentation, seemed to. Well, maybe they tried the tomb
Tried?
3 times and decided no. Whatever magic was on that trap is now gone, and the wax is all kind of like melting along the side of the what's left of the stone box. Yes, this is indeed a duke's treasure. Now, keep in mind, dukes have the power that previous kings did and suitable territory. So, in effect, you found a king's hoard.
A disgraced king who was buried in shame, but a king nonetheless.
Yep.
That is C's fucking ring.
The ring?
Ring invisibility. Ring of protection +2. Goddamn boy. Amulet of Shadows chance.
+2 light fortification and improved shadow mithril breastplate.
Oh, Duke Haramil, you've been a bad boy.
This gear's pretty good. Now,
Holy crap.
I think we're required to let the king buy stuff.
The duke.
The duke.
Wait, does he get the choice?
He will give you fair market price.
Oh, fuck him.
Now, you could just lie. Like, how is he supposed to know?
Question, the jade figurines and the mithril rings, are those magical at all, or we still have to?
No, they're not magical at all.
They're just items, okay.
Okay, they just bling. Well, looks like I'm the one with the bag of holding. Let's start, packing up the...
They were kind of around him, like they were things that he stole and maybe personal treasure. Arlen, give me a give me a knowledge history or a knowledge.
That's a good treasure. Holy shit.
Yeah, knowledge history on the rings.
Okay. Not 20.
Nice. These stylized rings are slightly different, but they represent the same thing to 3 different elven kingdoms.
Is it like fealty from the kingdoms, or?
No, the one thing that the elven kingdoms on Terrazleen had in common was that they all revered the tree of life. And each of these mithril rings is in the style of 3 different elven kingdoms. One is the kingdom to the east, the ones that capitulated really eerily to the Imperium.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, is it like a symbol of conquering them, or just...
One is Terrazleen, and the other is the kingdom that you came from, that is on Stygia.
Does it represent that he runs them?
No, they're just representations of the unity of elves.
The elves are such a sappy people.
That is such a haul. Are we gonna share it with the Duke?
I think if you plan to keep summoning Duncan to do shit for you via page, you might want to keep,
Oh, goodies, says Damien as he comes down. All the traps gone.
Maybe.
Ah, he's detecting magic and looking at the stuff.
Yep. Bunch of Elvis shit in here.
Excuse me, he says as he walks over the corpse, kind of kicking it in the head as he goes by.
So, Cade,
Yeah.
this is not the cradle.
Nope.
we're gonna have to.
All the shit
Where is it?
going.
Well, we got 2 more doors